What is up, my love? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. We are going to be creating this look as well. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. If you're interested, please keep on watching. First of all, before we start, let's get into this hair. I completely forgot to talk about it on my previous videos, but this is actually a wig, you guys. This is not my real hair. I actually made it into a bob and it did not go as planned because one side is longer than the other one. I am not a hairstylist, but girl, I really love short hair on me. Like, it looks super cute. I'm honestly trying to get into black hair because I want to dye my hair a little bit darker, but I could just never pull it off. Like, I just don't like how it look on me, you know? But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that we also have a giveaway still up. I'll link it somewhere in the screen for you guys to enter if you want to enter. And now let's get into this video. So today, once again, we are going to be diving into the new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. This is their newest, latest eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette brings 12 vivid neutrals with a purple pop to it. It's absolutely stunning when you look at it. It's super cute. This was released on June 12th, but will be available on Sephora July 5th. You are able to get this on urbandecay.com in case you are interested. Let's get into it and show you guys swatches so you can see how this swatch. So first we have this shade Trippin', and this is like a champagne color. Next we have Mind Slip, soft peach tone. Next we have the shade Days, beautiful coppery tone. Next we have the shade Hacked, and very beautiful mauve tone. Next we have the shade VR. When you swatch it, looks completely different from the pan. Absolutely gorgeous. And next we have Lucid. This ended up being one of my favorite shades on the palette. Very transformative shade. Next, let's move on to the next sixth shade, the darkest shade on the palette, which we have Optimize. Optimize is described as pretty lavender color. Next we have the shade Warning. Next we have Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is absolutely stunning. Once you swatch it, it swatches really well as well. Next we have the shade Euphoric, and this definitely has a lot of euphoria vibe. Next we have the shade Purple Dust for a smoky eye. The last shade is Digital, and Digital is one of the worst shade in the palette in my opinion. I really dislike working with the shades. I don't like how it applied. I wish it was replaced with something matte instead. These are all the shades and this is how they swatch. Just now let's go ahead and show you guys this makeup look that I created. I really like how it turned out. I did run into a little trouble with some of the eyeshadows, so please continue watching to hear my thoughts and opinion on this eyeshadow palette. So for this first look, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the eyes. I'm just using a eye primer. I'm gonna start with the shade Optimize. Optimize is a beautiful lavender. I applied it all over the crease. As you can see, it was really easy to apply, but I did find myself having to add a lot of products to be able to achieve the color that I wanted. Next, I'm adding a bit of the shade Mind Slippin' just to make sure I blend everything out. I also went in with a shade Purple Dust, which is the second to last shade, to apply it as a base for the next shade that I'm going to be applying on top. I tried applying it with a brush. These shades do not work as well, you guys, when applying it with a brush. They just don't apply as nice. So I went ahead and applied it with my fingers. I think it looks so much better when you use your fingers to apply these shades. Unlike when you use a brush, it just doesn't show as much. And then right on top of that, I went in with a shade Cyberpunk, and I also applied that with my fingers just because I feel like it looked so much better. And of course, making sure everything is nicely blended. And for the next shade, I applied Lucid. Lucid had to be one of my favorite shades again from this palette, and I added that on the inner corners. I love the hues that it gives. It's such a pretty shade. I also added it onto my brow bone to create that beautiful highlight as well. And for my lower lashes, I pretty much did the same thing. Use the shade Optimize, which is a beautiful lavender. I'm also gonna go in with this Urban Decay liquid liner. It is absolutely bomb, you guys. I really like this liner because it's waterproof and it lasts all day long, especially during the summer times. This is a great eyeliner for those of you that looking for something that's gonna last you all day long. This is great. Next, I'm gonna go on and apply some lashes. I'm using Tata Lashes. This is a Latina owned brand, and I really love their lashes. I'm using the style Bambi, one of my favorite styles. I'm also gonna go ahead and add a little bit of pop on the waterline by using this ColourPop liners. absolutely adore their liners. If you're looking for a liner, this is it right here. Like, I highly recommend them. Next, I'm going in with some mascara to top it off, and this is pretty much the final look. For the lips, I used the House of Glitter gloss. I love their glosses, you guys. They're so bomb, non-sticky, works amazing. And this is the final look. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite look, because now we're gonna go on to the second look using this Urban Decay Ultraviolet, of course. So let's go on. Always, you guys, I like to start prepping the eyes. I'm just using a regular concealer today here. And for this look, we are going to be using the neutral shades. I wanted to use both sides to give you guys more options on how to work with these shades. So I'm starting with the shade Hack, which is a very pretty brown mauvey tone. I added this shade all over the crease and slightly blowing it out because I wanted to create sort of like a soft smoky look on this eye. And I also went in with the shade Mind Slip, which is a beautiful orangey, light peachy orange tone to feather out the whole entire edge of this look. I'm also going to create a super easy cut crease, and I am going to be using the shade Trippin' on the inner part of the crease, the cut crease, following that by the shade Days, which is a beautiful coppery tone, and I'm just adding that Days shade basically all over that cut crease that I created. And at the end of the cut crease, I'm gonna be adding the shade Digital, which is the last darker shade. I don't really like, you guys, but when you apply this shade, it just looks so weird. It's almost like it goes on patchy and it doesn't really apply that well. I did try it on applying it with my fingers and it did apply a bit better, but honestly, you guys, it's not my favorite color. It's not my favorite color or shade on this palette. Like, I wish there was something different from that, but either way, this is pretty much the look. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom, you guys. Also, there wasn't much fallout for this palette. It was very minimal, so I don't mind that. So for the lower lashes, I'm going to be pretty much using the same shades. I'm using Hacked and the shade Mind Slip and kind of just blowing that out to look a little bit smoky. For the lower lashes, the waterline, actually, I'm using ColourPop Not liners, which I really like, you guys. Again, highly recommend those liners. If you're looking for liners, these are it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add Bambi lashes to finish up this look, and this is pretty much it. This is a beautiful soft peachy kind of look for those of you that love more neutral tones. I hope you guys enjoyed this look because I really like how it turned out. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, because I love how both turned out so freaking pretty. I truly had so much fun working with it. I'm not the biggest fan of the palette, to be honest, just because it is an eyeshadow that I probably wouldn't gravitate towards a lot, but it's neutral and I feel like a lot of people will get a lot of use of it due to being so neutral and easy to work with. The shadows apply really well. I did have a problem with the shade, this one right here. I believe these are like pigments. I believe these are pigments, which tend to be a little harder when it comes to working with them, and swiping it back and forth usually don't work when you're working with pigments. But in my little pamphlet here, it doesn't state anything of that, which kind of sucks. I wish brands were a little bit more informative when it comes to sharing how the eyeshadow works, what kind of formula it's in, what kind of texture. Like, I need to know this thing to know how to be able to work with eyeshadows. You know what I mean? But honestly, you guys, one of my favorite shades is definitely this one right here, which is Lucid. Lucid has to be my favorite shade, which I'm wearing right on the inner corners right here. It looks so beautiful against the purple. It's just so stunning. And then you, of course, have your little range of like very nice neutrals nudes right here. And then you over here get your like pop of color, and then you two darker shades at the end. The last shade was a shade that I didn't like whatsoever. I didn't like how it applied with the other shades. But yeah, you guys, I didn't like how it applied with this shade, which is Optimize. I believe this is a pressed pigment. With any eyeshadow that you apply next, it's just gonna like move around. It's not gonna stick to it because this is a pigment basically pressed into a eyeshadow. I hope that makes sense, you guys. But let me know your thoughts and opinion on this look. If you guys want to see more makeup reviews and tutorial things like that, let me know what you recommend for me to review next. I definitely have a lot more stuff that I want to review for you guys, so let me know in the comments down below what would you like to see next on my channel. And without further ado, babes, I'll see you on my next one.